Yo, it's the Life is Dope podcast. I'm your man Graffiti.
Yo, what's good? It's Davey, and I'm eating these snacks.
What you eating? What you eating, bro? Set yourself up.
Some legumes, some mix.
Them nuts. So Davey's gonna be eating nuts all episode.
Some almonds, some cashews.
How you feeling over there, bro?
Man,
You struggling?
yeah.
This is weather change in Colorado. Hit fast as hell, though.
Yeah, man. Shoot, it was raining last night. Got all wet.
You want to finish eating your nuts? You talking with nuts in your mouth?
You're doing the most right now, bro.
I'm just saying that was an easy setup, bro. Nah, but
I feel like, can I even say I got all wet? Men shouldn't say I got all wet. Just I got rained on.
Yeah,
that's bad too.
You can't say you
what
got
should men
wet.
say?
Just say you was cold, bro.
It rained and I was there, and
You got hit by the rain.
I got hit by the rain.
Yeah, the rain ran up on you. I don't know, man. This weather change being this sudden got me thinking we're gonna be in for a hell of a winter.
Yo.
Especially with all the shit that's going on weather-wise in the world.
Like, it's cold enough that it could probably start snowing today.
Probably. Like, it probably is. But anyways, for the people who are not in Colorado, what else is going on around the world?
I mean, once again, be sure to send your resources to UnitedForPuertoRico.com.
For sure.
They've been without power for days, and they're expected to another few months without power.
Yeah.
So that area is completely decimated. So just send your time, your resources, and help them out. Also, just people who are Mexico, be sure to keep them in your prayers. Send your resources, your time, money, anything helps.
Work.
Florida, a little bit of Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta really got hit
Houston
too much.
still, too.
Houston, yep.
Yeah, man. Send some help. And actually help, man. Like, I got this thing, like, prayer works, but we got to do a little more than that. Like, instead of saying pray for it, let's say let's help. That's my thing. So let's figure out how to help these people. Don't give your money to the Red Cross, though.
Yeah, prayer works, but you got to work.
You got to work, man. What else is going on?
Piers Morgan says, blame Kanye West if you're mad at white people using the N-word.
Wait. How the hell they put that on Kanye?
I don't know.
Everything's Kanye's.
White people have definitely been using the N-word longer than Kanye.
Yeah, way longer than Kanye. But they going to put it on Kanye. And, man, can y'all get off my man's Kanye, man? Leave that man alone.
Big Easy.
Let Big Easy eat, man.
Big Easy.
He about to drop a fire album, I feel like.
The notorious B.I.E.
I'm
sorry, guys.
What else, bro, before we get into our guest?
Did you see y'all's president making the UN statement? And
I don't know who you're referring to.
someone's the estranged president of the United States.
What'd he say?
Calling Kim Jong-un Rocket Man.
Yeah, man. Nah, but let's talk about Lil Kim, though. Bro said he's going to tame Trump with fire.
Ooh. I was like, look at what she said.
No, I'm talking about Kim Jong-un. That nigga said he gonna tame him with fire.
Yeah, when a nigga say they gonna tame you with fire,
they are with the shits.
They are hella with him.
I ain't never told a nigga I'm gonna tame him with fire, yo.
I got that ratchet,
man.
That chopper, the team goes scrap.
But hey, yo, I don't know about that situation. We're gonna have to do something, man, because he out here about to get us blown up.
Yeah, and shout out to Trump making up African countries.
Right.
Talking about, was it Nambia?
Nambia or some shit. He said the shit off of Coming to America. Zamunda or some shit. But it's not real, bro. But what's sad is nobody realized it wasn't real because nobody does research anymore. But fuck all that, man.
I thought Nambia was definitely like some sort of STD medication. You know, you just see a Nambia commercial, like a chick just on the swings. And
actually, doctor. Oh shit, I'm drunk. Actual doctor about Nambia. That's what I was trying to say. But anyways,
like,
man,
if you're pregnant or having heart problems, you should not use Nambia.
Man, we got a special guest in the building again.
Who we got?
Big shout out to this man right here, man. He been on the scene for a minute. He moves in a very mysterious way, though. So we're glad to have him here to get his story out. It's my man Namm. Y'all make some noise for Namm.
What's good, y'all? What's poppin', boys?
Hey. How you living, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad to be here, man.
No doubt. For the people that don't know, let them know who you are and what you do.
I'm Namm from LAMA Squad. Hip hop artist. I do a lot of different things, but
I'll talk to the mic for me, bro.
Mainly hip hop is what I do. So I just been out here just trying to get it, just like everybody. You know what I mean? I like what y'all guys is doing, man. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, much appreciated.
You said LAMA Squad. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
What is, who is LAMA Squad.
Well, LAMA Squad stands for Little Ambition Makes a Lot. The founders is me and my brother Paul, man. We started it. We was rapping, I mean, a long time. Like, I couldn't even tell y'all when we wasn't rapping. And then God bless the dead, my brother Toddy passed away, and he made up the name LAMA Squad. So once he passed away, we kind of took on the name.
Right.
You know what I mean? And with that, we've been LAMA Squad ever since. About 16, 17 mixtapes in, a few albums, bunch of shows, small tours.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Really moving.
We still here.
Where y'all from?
Far Rockaway, Queens.
Word.
Yeah. I lived everywhere in New York. I went to school in every borough in New York.
Oh, wow.
But Far Rockaway is definitely my home. That's where I learned life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely New York.
How you get from New York to Colorado, though?
I used to come out here to visit. Wound up coming out here, having a kid, and got stuck.
That'll do it.
You'll definitely find love in Colorado.
Yeah, but I love Colorado, man. This shit is dope out here.
Yeah.
So compared to where I come from, you know what I'm saying? I love it. Like, this shit, I tell everybody back home, like, come to Colorado. Like, this shit is dope.
Yeah.
It's just a peace of mind. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, you can focus out here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So as far as being from the East Coast and being from New York, who are some of your influences that inspire you to make hip hop music?
My influences. Well, I started listening to hip hop early. Like my uncle. Big shout out to my uncle Butch. He was listening to hip hop early. So I mean, like Grandmaster Flash, Funky 4+1. Like,
Right.
I used to steal his cassette tapes and listen to those. So I got on hip hop super early. I think my first like idol was probably Slick Rick.
Okay.
I was a super duper Slick Rick fan. My moms didn't even know I had the tape. And I used to, I mean, that album like kind of changed my life. So, I mean, the regulars, Biggie, Pac, you know, Ghetto Boys,
Word.
UGK. I was another cat from New York that listened to a lot of cross country stuff early on. Like I was like the first to listen to NWA in my hood.
Ooh, right.
First to listen to Outkast in my hood. Like,
So you wasn't one of those, if it ain't New York, I ain't fucking with it type.
yeah. Not at all. I like music. You know what I'm saying? My pops was he was big in the music business back in the day, so I seen a lot, you know what I mean, at an early age. So I just adapted to whatever was dope, you know what I'm saying? Even especially like even 80s rock, like I was heavy in the 80s rock. So, yeah.
That's dope. What was one of your most craziest hip hop moments? Because you said that you were around your dad, around a lot of that stuff. What was something that was just like, wow, that would blow people's minds if they knew?
Let me think. That's a good question.
That's a hard ass question.
Yeah. I remember my uncle being around for a lot of stuff, and I was too young. I remember getting into the tunnel in New York at like 15. Like, one of my uncles used to bounce up there, so I used to see everybody, like Mobb Deep and Bad Boy. This is early on.
Right.
Wow.
There was a group called Crew. I don't know if y'all remember that. They had like one record, and they went to the tunnel and bombed, and that was the end of their career.
Dang.
Like, I remember that type of stuff, seeing like Rakim and
Right.
these type of people early on when I was young, seeing people get robbed in front of the tunnel. Like, it was
Dang.
crazy.
The tunnel's a staple.
Yeah.
In hip hop.
Absolutely.
How you feel now though about not only the East Coast hip hop scene, but just the climate of hip hop right now? Like, it doesn't seem like, you know, when you tell stories like that, you could talk about like the tunnel, and we could talk about like Stretch and Bobito and all that. Nowadays, it's like,
I think the actual art of it is kind of lacking right now, but I mean, everything changes. So
Right.
I respect what, you know what I mean, what's going on. I mean, it has to go through different forms in order, you know what I mean, but people got to understand that hip hop is just, it's not a genre that's been around that long. We only like 30 something, almost 40 years deep in it, you know what I mean?
That's
Right.
true.
R&B and rock, and it's hundreds of years of this shit. You know what I mean? So hip hop is not an old genre. So we still forming. You know what I'm saying, to what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like just watching what's going on and just, you know what I mean, because sometimes you might listen to something and be like, oh, that's some bullshit.
Right. And
you'll get to the point where you'll be like, yo, you know what, that shit is kind of dope. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like No Limit, Master P, and then when they first came out,
right,
until I went down south, and that's all they was bumping, and I got caught up in the wave. You know what I'm saying?
You get it.
Yeah. So I go back to New York, they like, yo, what are you listening to? Like, you know what I'm saying? But when I went down south, when Master P and them was hot, they was bumping the Ghetto D album, and they was bumping Junior Mafia album.
Right.
Those were the only two albums that they was pumping at that time. So they got what we was doing. So I gave that shit a chance, and I'm like, yo, this is hip hop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I think we've kind of noticed how the sound of hip hop is changed over the years, especially that New York sound, and it's adopted more of like that Southern sound, the 808s, the trap drums. What do you think about that?
First of all, it's a black orientated genre, so I look at it as just black people doing what black people do. I don't like to categorize it like, you know what I mean? You got different styles because of where people come from, but at the end of the day, we can all adapt to anything. You know what I'm saying? And New York can't be on top forever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was created there, so the history is there. You should know your history as far as where it came from, but at the end of the day, we can adjust to anything. The South got a ride. The West Coast had a ride. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy for any black motherfucker doing anything.
Straight up.
Positive.
And the biggest hip hop record right now is Cardi B's Bodak Yellow.
Yeah. Big shout out to Cardi B, man. She's killing the game right now.
Right.
But it's that same mentality.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna just sit down and let you tell me what I can and can't do. I'm gonna get out there and get it. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up. So with that being said, where would you put your music or the LAMA Squad sound if you had to categorize it? Because as much as we try not to, you know, people still gonna hear it and put a label on it.
I came from the shit when shit was different. It wasn't no Instagram and Twitter, and like, if you had problems with somebody, you gonna have to run into these people sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? So that aspect of it is different. But where I come from, I come from lyrics. I come from saying something, just a message in the music. You know what I mean? Whether you consider it a good or a bad message, you know what I'm saying? Just somebody actually painting a picture. You know what I'm saying? I think the music now is like, it's rhythm driven. Like, it's what feels good, and which is dope too. I like that.
It's a vibe.
I tend to stick to what I come from and what I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'll jump on a song, like I said before, with any of these young cats all day, but I'm still be Namm on the record.
Right.
So tell us about your writing process. Do you listen to the beat first and then you come up with the content, or are you just sitting and watching like the news and you feel like, oh, I want to talk about this subject, or I want to talk about this content?
When I first started rapping, I didn't rap to no beat. I would like put a beat in my head and just write that way. But after a while, I started with my brother putting, like, he's our producer, so when he started making beats, I would just start rapping the beats. So now my process is basically, if I'm feeling it, if I'm feeling something, I'll go and look for a beat through the stash and say, okay, yeah, this kind of fits the way I feel right now, and I'll just start trying to come up with something like that.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get real quick.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Top 3 East Coast rappers of all time. Let's do it.
Oh, man. I always got a problem with this because it's so many dope rappers. Like,
to you personally, though,
I think one of the most underrated rappers, and I don't think he gets his just due. One of my favorite artists of all time is Fabulous. I think Fab is. He's the only person to this date that makes me rewind shit.
Yeah.
You know, we say rewind shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know we don't rewind like we used to rewind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Run that back, yeah.
Fab had me on some like, what the fuck did he just say? Like,
right.
you know what I mean? Jada, every once in a great while, I'm a big Locks fan too, but Fab is like one of the most underrated. I think he's gonna go down as one of the greats. One of my favorite.
Definitely one of the most consistent.
Absolutely most consistent
and still relevant too.
Yeah.
Absolutely, which is not a easy thing to do.
Right.
I'm a super Biggie fan. I just don't think Biggie had enough time to really put out what his potential was.
Agree.
But I could listen to not Reasonable Doubt. Ready to Die.
Yeah.
Any day of the week, front to back. Like, it always puts me in that mood. It motivates me. Who else? A lot of people don't know I'm a big MOP fan.
Ooh.
MOP. Shout out to MOP.
I'm a big MOP fan. Big shout out to Billy Danze and Fame. Like, I think Fame is another underrated rapper that he spits some shit sometimes, and I just be like, wow. So yeah, I mean, all of the regulars, Jay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for me to just pinpoint one. I'm a big Outkast fan. Like, I don't know. It's hard. It's
tough. I think though, like, when I do top 5s or top 3s when it comes to artists, I try to think of like certain times, because it's more so about the impact that artists had on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, artists that come to mind, like Rakim is my number one all the time, always. Because that's like the first rapper I ever heard. You know what I mean?
Right.
But before I give mine, let's do yours, baby.
Man, I would have to go with, I think Jay-Z's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially when it comes to impact, man, he made niggas put on button-ups.
Right.
He nearly killed auto-tune for a little bit.
Right.
He had niggas taking rims off their car and driving with
jerseys
stock,
off.
stock rims.
Yeah.
So he's always just been ahead of the curve, and I think people still look up to him. And from a lyricist perspective, Jay-Z is just, I think he's just unmatched to me. Like, sometimes I'll still listen to his Hot 97 Grammy Family freestyle, and like, that was just something that's just
absolutely, every
every time I hear it, you just catch another line. It's like, oh wow,
right.
Yeah.
Next after that, it's tough. I'm gonna have to say Cameron for number 2.
Wow,
solid.
That's deep.
Like,
damn, producer Julius laughed at Cam.
Like, yo, Cameron
kind of hurt my soul, bro. You know how I feel about this
Shout
shit.
to Cam.
Cameron had some of the craziest bars, and just his rap beefs and his persona was just hilarious.
Did you wear pink?
You go to Pink route with Cam.
Hey man, Cam low key made a hell of an impact.
I did have the pink tall tee. I did.
Everybody.
Tall tee.
I had that.
Solid pick.
Number 3. I don't know if I'm gonna rock the boat with this one. Well, no, Cassidy's not New York. Cassidy's Philly, right?
Yeah, Cassidy's Philly.
Okay. New York. Dang, I had the third one too, and now I can't even recall it.
It's not easy, bro. It's not
easy at all.
I'll ponder on it. What's yours?
It's never easy.
All right, mine. Like I said, I was Rakim, number one. Period. Easy. I think just even to this day, the shit that Rakim was rapping and just the rhyme patterns and just his flow and his style at that era was unheard of.
Right.
And then 2, I'm gonna go with Jay. Just that's a no brainer.
Right.
3 is tough, and y'all might trip, but I'm gonna go with LL. LL, like,
not a bad pick.
LL like shattered the game. I think LL's one of those legends that's like, we know he's a legend, but people just don't give him, like, he was the first artist on Def Jam. Like, there would be no Def Jam without LL. So
absolutely, and the impact that he had was crazy.
Yeah, he made it cool to make the songs for the ladies. Like, a lot of cats would not have radio records if there was no LL.
A lot of cats wouldn't have crossover records if it wasn't for LL.
Facts. So I'm gonna go with LL.
Yeah, I would have to choose between either LL, 50, or Biggie. Like, those.
No Nas?
Well, see, Nas is my favorite lyricist.
Nas is very conscious, and
that's the thing. Like, you know, Nas, I'm a Nas guy too. Yeah, I'm a 50 guy, but
since '92.
But when you look at overall impact, just overall, like, Nas is up there because of his lyricism and all that. But I don't know, bro.
I think
I love Nas.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think when people like, years from now when they're like really, really doing. I know they do Tupac in college, but I think when they do like hip hop in college and they writing papers and stuff, I think Nas will definitely be probably one of the biggest ones.
Right. I think with Nas is he's so lyrical, a lot of shit goes over my head, and I can say that honestly. Like it's dope, but like with Jay, this is what it is. You know, I mean, you understand what he's talking about, even if it takes a minute. Because like it took a minute for me to get into Kingdom Come. Now that I'm older, I love that shit. Yeah. But I used to hate that. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. People laughed at me when I was bumping that album. Like that album was sick.
Yeah.
Kingdom Come and
amazing album.
The American Gangster joint that he did. It's like
American
classic
Gangster,
shit, man.
Like honestly, American Gangster is one of my top 3 J albums.
Yeah.
And I can say that easily.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I can too.
Top 3.
Yeah.
No. Well, shit, top 3 J albums.
But I guess real quick to make my Nas point, I think he was always second to whatever rapper was hot. I don't remember a time where Nas was ever just number 1 or had a reign. Like Cameron had a reign.
Wait, when Nas first came out, that buzz that he had coming from Live Off the Barbecue, going into what was his first joint? Not Halftime. I heard Halftime first before I heard what the fuck is the record, yo?
It ain't hard to tell.
It ain't hard to tell.
Yeah.
I heard Halftime first before I heard It Ain't Hard to Tell.
Right.
But when It Ain't Hard to Tell came out, like he had New York going crazy.
Right.
Yeah. He was just way different, but he was still so street, and it was unlike anything else we had ever seen at that time.
Right.
I think he bridged that crossover from lyricism rap to my bad.
How you get producer Julius?
I just think he bridged that gap from lyricism rap to mainstream.
Right.
Like LL, you had to be kind of cheesy, kind of braggadocio to actually get mainstream. Nas was the first one on the radio spitting that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what made that shit normal.
Yeah.
And ever since then, nobody's really mastered that like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that longevity and that impact.
Yeah, he was in heavy rotation with some real shit.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like you said about not ever hitting that point where he's just that guy. That's kind of how I feel about Fabulous. I feel like he could never peak because there was always somebody just mainstream way above him. You know what I mean? Like when Rockefeller was really popping and Fab wasn't Rockefeller.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel the same way about Fat Joe too. Like they're real consistent and they got one for you all the time.
Yeah.
But they could never hit that next level because there was already a Fabulous fulfilling that seat. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now they just around, which is dope.
Yeah, which is dope. Absolutely.
Cool. That's a good one. But what we're doing, Jay-Z albums.
Top 3 Jay-Z albums.
What was yours?
But you know what? Let's start with what's the worst Jay-Z album?
The worst.
Mine changed recently.
In my lifetime too, I think. I wasn't really. Reasonable Doubt is one of my favorite albums of all time. I think that's probably my top Jay-Z album, Reasonable Doubt, because he put so much into that album, and that's another album I could just listen to front to back, and it'll always take me there.
Right.
Probably in my lifetime too is probably my worst Jay-Z. Was it my worst? Yeah. Yeah.
What you got, Dave?
I don't know. I'm looking them up right now because I want to make sure I got the right songs.
All right, my worst was definitely Blueprint 3.
Blueprint 3.
Yes, and it wasn't before because Kingdom Come was until I started listening to it more and more. But it's definitely Blueprint 3, and I say that because that's an album. Wait. Might be wrong. I might be wrong. Because for the same reason I'm going to put Blueprint 3 will be the same reason I will put Magna Carta. It's an album full of big records. You know what I mean?
Right. You
know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like you could just vibe out to Reasonable Doubt anytime.
Right.
Like,
it wasn't fan base driven.
Right. Like, Black Album, for me, Black Album is my number one. That's the one I could just go to all the time when I want to hear some Jay-Z. Right. But, like, I don't want to hear New York. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear the songs that was on Blueprint 3.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt too stadium music-ish to me.
Right.
So I can't really.
Mainstream.
So I'm going to put that. Blueprint 3-ish.
It'd be tough for me to choose. I might have to do Volume 1.
Really?
Yep.
Because then you got to look at, like, because it was between either Volume 1, 2, or 3. And I'm like, nah. 2 or 3 are way better than 1.
Volume 1?
Yep.
That's rough. That's some joints on there.
Which one was Excuse Me Miss on? Was that on Blueprint 2 or 1?
3, I think. Was it 2?
Excuse Me, that was 2.
Oh, yeah, it was 2.
See, I can't say 2.
Yeah.
Maybe they just had too many.
I mean,
they had
every
too many-
album has some bangers on there.
They just had too many tracks on Blueprint too.
Yeah. I'm sticking with 3.
Okay.
What y'all got in the back? Audience participation's on. July was like, nah, nigga.
I'm with you on the Black album though. That's like one of my favorites.
The Cure in the back. Shout out to The Cure. Yeah. You said what?
The Black album was like.
That's your number 1. What's the worst?
See, I didn't start listening to Jay until I was like older because I was married to somebody who was older than me, and he started like hipping me to like all the good shit. Right. So I can't even say like, oh, what's the Hawaiian shirt shit?
The Hawaiian
the video.
Shirts. Yeah.
Which one?
The Sunshine. No,
yeah.
Well, he got a gang of Hawaiian James with Jazz.
When Jay was like just coming out,
spitting mad fast.
Yeah. One of them songs, I hated that shit. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Jigga Well was dope.
Jigga Well was dope.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's Jay though, man. It's just Jay at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was hard to choose.
Speaking of music though, man. So you got mad albums and projects and all kind of shit already out. What's coming up?
We're about to drop this kind of long awaited this Boardwalk Empire album. Me, my brother Poor Man's Son, and Big Homie Snubs. Album's done, ready to go. About to put the video on World Star.
Okay.
And we're looking for a Halloween release date. So crazy. Like we went back in the bag. We just went back to the foundation of what we've been doing.
Right.
And where we come from, and it's still modernized for now. It's dope. I can't wait for everybody to hear that. So the Boardwalk Empire album, like I said, hopefully Halloween we'll be able to drop this album. And we still sitting on a LAMA Live album right now. Big shout out to John MC. Yeah. And if people don't know, LAMA Live is the band.
Right.
And we've been rocking. We've done a lot. I've probably done more shows with LAMA Live than anything. So yeah, we got an album coming out as well, and we also have a new situation with LAMA Live. So it's gonna be dope.
Right. Do you feel, especially in these weird times living in, as an artist, do you feel obligated to speak on current issues in the music, or is it just one of those things?
I've always done that. So you know what I mean. I like addressing things. I just like putting how I feel into the music. You know what I mean. So it's a lot of shit going on right now. I don't even understand how you could write and not put it in there. Right. You know what I'm saying. So I definitely try to stay on top of that.
Straight up.
So how do you feel about all of the NFL protests that have been going on, and now we see like the NBA is getting into it, and
I think it's dope. I think it's well needed. To me, Donald Trump is he's an asshole to me. I mean, I just feel like this country has come so far without that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like at a point we felt, especially with Barack Obama becoming president, it's like we got past a lot. This country was built off of bullshit, so it's always going to be something. But to double back is
crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think the tapping into the sports, even though, you know what I'm saying, I think it was a cheap shot for him to do. Yeah. I'm kind of glad he did do that, because it gives an opportunity for people that are actually out here really doing something big and have the platform to be able to speak on the shit that's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, we got Black Lives Matters and all of this stuff, but people pay attention to the people that got money.
Right. They pay attention to athletes and owners, and once you start trying to come for them.
Right. So yeah, it's I mean, it is what it is. It's America. It ain't perfect, but it's still the greatest place on the planet.
Straight up. Hell yeah, man. So check this out. One piece of knowledge, advice, love, whatever you will leave with the world, what would that be?
Never let other people dictate your worth. Never let other people.
That's real.
Tell you what you can and can't do. Once again, and stay focused on what you feel like you was put here to do. too many people get caught up in the social media and what people got to say about them, and it takes away from the time that you could be doing something positive with yourself to progress. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that would be my main thing. Like, find out who you are and then just push as hard as you can to get to where you trying to get. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what nobody else says. Doesn't matter.
Straight up.
Sounds good. As far as social media and contact information, how can people reach you?
Namm, LAMA Squad, IG, Facebook.
That's NAMM.
NAMM. Yep. Yeah, all of that shit. Same shit. Yeah, hit me up, man. It'd be dope. Can I give a couple shout outs?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I want to shout out other LAMA Squad artists, Nakira in the building. I want to shout out this girl because I think she's so underrated, and I think that she's super duper talented. July is in the building.
Yeah, very talented.
I think that people should pay attention to what she's doing and what she got to say. Like, she's super humble, so people might overlook her, but I'm here to tell you, like, she got some fire. Like,
she's a beast.
Yeah, definitely. Big shout out to Megafauna for having me here, and big shout out to Shelly B. And I want everybody to tune in to Time is Money. It's a web series. It's on YouTube right now. It's doing real well. It's doing big. I'll send out the links. Definitely check it out. My brother Poor Man's Son, the homie Sunny Good Times, and it's doing big right now. And y'all gotta check it out, man. It's dope, man. I'm super proud of my bros.
Time is money.
Yeah, check it out.
Absolutely.
You want to plug the album one more time?
The album, October 31st, Boardwalk Empire, Poor Man Snubs, big homie, Poor Man Son, Big Homie Snubs, and myself. And yeah, that should be out on Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah, Back to the East is the first single.
Hey.
Hell yeah. Well, we appreciate you for coming through, bro. Let's make some noise for Namm.
Appreciate it.
Life is Dope Podcast. I'm Graffiti.
And I'm Davey. Skirt. We out.